Ladies and gentlemen, rude boys sightings, bad men, bad gal. We're back again. The streets. How are you, my friend?
I am feeling indestructible like James Tony, mate.
Indestructible forever. Screaming Burger King and that you got milk. Always, always and forever. Let's start out. We've poured tens of pounds into a setup. We've got microphones, we've got headphones. The only complaint that people had was the sound quality on certain episodes. I think we've neutralised that.
We've heard it. We've taken hold of it. So yeah, hopefully it's coming at you much clearer.
Exactly. The caveat to that is that I use a very, very low end laptop because I just can't be bothered. So I've had to buy a webcam that's coming tomorrow. Shout out to Amazon Prime. Double quick. For the people, when we finally get our act together and start watching on YouTube, I think Streets is about to become a bit of a gay icon. He's got a deep vest going on. He's tanned, he's shiny. He is looking like a dream, bless him. He was sipping
I'm ready
on
for all the
citrus
conversations
water.
about D, mate.
No.
Shout out citrus water.
It was
We're going to Hollywood.
beautiful. Look at him. Just so shiny. Look here.
It's a sweat. It's hot as a motherfucker, man.
Listen, I've had to close all the windows in the flat because these mics pick up everything. So the girls are playing outside. I mean, look at that. Look, there's a blonde and a brown haired Barbie directly behind my head.
Don't lie, mate. I know they're yours. Come on, sir.
They are mine. Rona life has been, it's been tough with them today. Like I said, you've got the complete opposite life to me. You've got young men running around the house, right? That means that any soft furnishing that you once have, it's done. It's done.
Including TVs, mate.
Yeah. When they come up and say, Ian, can I use your credit card? No questions asked. Yes, of course you can. Who are you supporting and allowing them to fulfill their dream of potentially becoming therapist, masseuse? Respect. OnlyFans for life. You know, respect if you've also got a penchant for feet pictures. Big deal. I have the opposite. I have a near 4-year-old and a near 6-year-old and a foam roller that vibrates. And I came into the living room today and the near 4-year-old was just sitting on it vibrating. And I was just like, oh. This is what it is.
Don't want to destroy you for life, but also don't want to deal with this right now.
Listen, that's why I'm partially gay, right? Because there's only so much fecal matter you can scoop out of tiny vaginas that you made with sex before
at least
twice. You know, it's just a lot, and you just like, there's only so much, right? So let's begin with current affairs, which is that Mike and Roy have been. It's been delayed. And it's been delayed because I'm guessing that they were conflicting with other cards as well as cash. Yeah. I like to be in that board meeting or even that Zoom call when Mike just gets on and just says, we need to increase revenue by rescheduling. Okay, you motherfuckers. And then they just...
That's exactly how it would have sounded.
Exactly how it would have been. And that's exactly how it went. And all of them, who's going to tell Mike?
Oh, exactly. Who's going to say, no, Mike, come on.
Yeah, no one's going to say no to that. So that's now November 28th, which is like the Thanksgiving big weekend.
That they actually have a day. Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
when I
November
saw it,
28th.
Like,
moved to November 28th. Same pay-per-view. Same everything. I'm guessing it just gives them more time to hype it, more time.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Because I saw an article and I thought the guy was being a bit of a hater and he's just like, they might both move on and who knows whether this... I'm like, whoa.
Move on to where? Where are they moving on to? Right, they've got nothing, like, they've got interests outside, but where are you moving to?
Yeah, exactly. Let's be real. In the ring, that fight's happening. And then maybe some more, but that's going to be the first one.
For sure, and some more. And that's the next one, because Dana's been talking about Floyd not ruling out. And, you know, I guarantee you, because Dana and Mike are good mates, and Dana has wanted to be
Yeah.
involved with boxing for a while. They have Zuffa boxing. They've had all of that stuff for a bit. They're waiting for that, and he's quite matey with Floyd, and they quite liked
Yeah.
the Conor Floyd, obviously, because it made hundreds of
How
millions
could you
of dollars.
not, mate?
Hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And the only thing that probably made more was Floyd betting on himself to finish it in the 10th, right? That was the only thing that made more money that night and gave more people in Vegas stress. But yeah,
You've seen
Floyd,
Dana's office of all the UFC fights, and the big poster at the back is Conor versus Floyd. So
yeah, but it used to be a Yakuza, didn't it? It used to be a Yakuza nailing a bird. It was like a real picture of a real Yakuza. It's like he didn't even realize that it was worth a fortune. Like he got given it, and he was just like, I suppose I'll put it up. He's got like a T-Rex head. Like he's got my dreams.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah. I wish I was him. Fact.
Oh, mate. Oh.
But yeah, if they start doing the exhibitions, Floyd's already done one. He loves it. Well, he's kind of done two, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like the Conor one was more of an exhibition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring him out. Get him going. Let's see. Yeah. Let's
Make
see.
it rain some and he'll get in there.
Big cash. So, should we start with Fight Camp week 2 with the Yas
recap.
Queens? Yeah.
What a fight. Ladies,
Amazing.
thank you very much for that. That was a tear up and a half. And
Big.
I mean, Jonas, mad respect, because that performance was out of this world.
I'm not angry at the draw, though.
No, 100% not. I guess if I had to say anything, I would say she was on the winning end of a draw. So 100% could see a draw. And if there was a winner, I would see it being her. Struggle to see it Harper taking it, although being, you never know, you got to beat the champ and things like that. But a draw, 100% fair.
Yeah, I wasn't angry at that at all. It was a great
100%
fight.
this talk of robbery, no chance, right? It was a close fight. And whenever it's a close fight, it's very hard to beat. People, they get up in arms quite quickly, especially if you're invested in the fighter. It doesn't go your way. Okay, but robbery, it wasn't. It was definitely a close fight. And I mean, everybody wins. We get to see that again. Like that rematch is going to be insane. Hopefully it gets signs. What a fight.
I mean, it was a classic. Like Jonas won the fight, and Harper, I felt, was winning the match. Right? It was fight versus sport. Right. And Harper, she got rocked a few times and held her stuff together and came back. Jonas was a lot better on the inside, but Harper, she was catching with a couple of like really sharp little right uppers and hooking over. Like she's no mugging it. Like it was 100% very much so. Yeah.
And just to stay in there, to keep the composure as well. And she did take some big, and that's the other thing, you can watch it and see, Jonas probably got the bigger punches. So that catches your attention, but by no means was that a blowout. Do you know what I mean? It was such an even matchup. I
mean, for 23, she was so composed. Like she got rocked big. It was like round 5, round 4. She got rocked big, her legs went, and she was calm enough. She had her faculties all about her. She grabbed, she held. To be fair, started getting back at range and started banging out the long, straight threes. I thought she was wicked. I thought it was a wicked fight. And that's not even about, men's, women, boxing, anything. It was just a fantastic fight.
For sure. Like I put together that little highlight. That's a tear-up. That's a throwback fight.
It was amazing. Yeah, great fight. They done everyone proud. They did, that's one of the ones you could quite comfortably watch that a few times.
Yeah.
Sometimes Harper comes out, sometimes Jonas comes out. That's why I think it's a draw. Like it was a comfortable draw. Great fight. Really up for it. Let's see the rematch. Let's see. I mean, to be fair, women's boxing's coming on.
Big time. We'll get to week 3 because we got another member of the fraternity, or 2 members of the fraternity rather, coming up on that one. And what was he anointed? The mayor.
Sorority.
There we go. What was he anointed? The mayor of Shredgadistan? Is that it?
Yep. Anthony Fowler.
Big
champion of bodyism. It was just levels, weren't it? Like he was disdainful. Even his after. I mean, a lot of people think he's a little bit of a jar. But I just think he's just a fighter. He's a fighter. He's scouse. Like afterwards,
First one to stop him, right? He was the first one to stop him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that corner probably should have stopped it 2 rounds before. Like, don't keep asking, "Are you all right? Are you all right? Are you all right?" Like he was hurt, and it was going nowhere. Yeah. And how are you gonna go on a big card on telly with a ugly t-shirt tan? Get a spray tan, go on the sunbed, be outside. It drives me bananas when just.
It's like GSP always came in glistening.
GSP, exactly. Come in gold. Make a show, right? There's no excuse for not being that. Like you just can't. It was like the second that comes off and I see a t-shirt tan, I'm like, oh, you're done. You're not winning. It's like seeing the shorts. When you see like the off-the-shelf shorts, it's like, well, you're going nowhere. You just fodder, right?
The Lonsdale Sports Direct boots as well. You're like, did you buy them on the way in?
Do you remember when we went to the Bare Knuckle? And some of those boys, I think one of them had cut off Lonsdale track bottoms. Like it was the immigration special, wasn't it? It's like, you've made it to the UK. Congratulations. Welcome, excel. Here's your HTC One Desire mobile phone. Here's a set of Lonsdale martial arts slippers and your tracksuit to go with. And it was terrible. Like some of the boys, they went in and tried to look like they made their own shorts. Other ones literally, like they looked like they bought them on the way to the O2. You got to have a little bit of swag in you. You got to.
But Jesus, once they got in there, man, I was impressed with that. God. Yeah. I think they're just swinging. That's come a long way, that Bare Knuckle. We got to do a special on that sometime, actually, because
it's getting more and more fun. But yeah,
what
Fowler. I think from a picks wise, I think we're now 7-1, and the one being a draw.
The draw,
yeah. But
well, hey, that happens.
Winning record. Fowler looked wicked. Fowler looked. He looked sharp. He looked powerful. He looked disdainful with everything that he had coming back at him. He could challenge for he needs to start moving up now, and I think Eddie wants to move him up.
For sure. And there's exciting matchups to come. You know, even on the domestic level, you know, there's still the Fitzgerald fight and all that sort of stuff. But I think bright future there. Like he's got the work ethic. Yeah. He's got all the attributes that's going to be a fun one to watch.
The cruiserweights. I mean, he you know, that bless Nathan Thornley. He came out. He had a little bit of a rab, but you know, like Billion Smith, he's articulate. He looks the part. He is the part. Great fighter. Great finish.
It really was.
It really was, wasn't it? Great finish.
He put him down 3 times something before that was over.
Yeah, but the big.
Yeah.
Like lean over to the side, drop that right
Good
on.
evening.
Yeah, it was one of the ones, you know, when they get crumbled under themselves.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
Can always tell when there's no effort to break the fall. It's like, done.
You always know when the ref just walks over and just goes, no.
Mate, that's like the Pacquiao Marquez 4. That was terrifying. Like, do you remember just holding your breath thinking, is he dead? Like the way
I don't like Pacquiao. I don't like him at all. I, in fact, got into an altercation with a bunch of Filipinos at Pacquiao Morales 3, which was just death, right? So you've flown 10 hours to Vegas, you've paid up for the tickets, everything's gone on, and it's like a 3-round blowout, and they were just dicks about the weight. Like Morales was so weight drained that he couldn't even get on. These mics are power. He couldn't even like get up to get weighed in. He was just like a shell of a man. And then of course he got blown out, and it was just bad. It was just bad, and I wasn't happy about it, and I was jet lagged and angry and whatever.
So that was like redemption. Held on to that grudge for years, and was like, there you go.
Every single time I watch Manny fight, I don't hope for his demise, but I'm always okay for the other one to beat him. Right? Always.
Oh mate, this is because I'm on Manny's nuts big time.
I know you are.
The next time he fights, this is going to be an epic little.
And it's anyone, literally anyone can fight him.
Although I'm not liking this talk about Triple G. I just, you know, you hope they take 2 names and they just bang it out there. You know, like keep it in the news, because no, I don't want to see that.
I will say this though, right? Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Mr. Pacquiao, some of the robberies that they've swung his way. Tim Bradley and Horn. Like it was just like, what's happened? Who's been bunged? Like, let's get an investigation.
You know, Uncle Bob heard that he wants to retire and move into the parliament. He's like, is that right? Let's time to build all the next people. I need my investment built off that. And
he's
that
made
first
so
Bradley
much
one.
cash off of him, though, isn't he? Like, just don't be greedy. And also, how old is he? 80, 88, 89. How much more money do you need?
Yeah, exactly.
If you've got 10 years left, you've definitely got the money for 10 years. Right, stop.
Yeah.
Young Hopey Price. Great
skills,
little
mate.
fighter, isn't he?
Skills, yeah.
Yeah, really
It's
skilled.
good to get the rounds in too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got the win, looked great, good experience. But yeah, I really like Hopey.
Yeah, he's got that kind of like Luke Campbell look and that Luke Campbell style. Like, he's just really baby-faced.
Yeah.
He's really experienced. That guy went in at him. And he held his ground. He kept spinning him. He was hanging onto the back of his neck. He was doing everything that you needed to do, like a seasoned
pro
vet.
moves,
like,
son.
Yeah, proper pro moves. But yeah.
And we lost the fight, didn't we? Yeah, because of the feeling ill. Don't know if that's code for Rona and don't want to blow out the whole card. Yeah. But
so we're doing this episode on Monday the 10th? Monday the 10th. So anything from now until Friday can potentially jeopardize any one of the fights that we'll talk about in week 3.
Knocking on wood.
Knock on wood, it's going to be all right, but you never know. But to be fair, week 3 is a lot of lesser known names, but they're all really good fights. But
yes.
But I will say that with the summer, with Rona, with heat, with having to parent my own children like I'm poor, it's stressful. Okay? Stress. It's hard to sleep last night. Stress. Normally, up until this point, when I can't sleep, I get on the laptop, I end up watching Mexican execution cartel videos or cruising the deep web trying to buy weaponry for the end of the world. Also stressful. Managing my trust fund, very stressful. The property portfolio that I got given at age 17, very, very stressful. Like you lot don't understand how hard it is to live how I live intentionally when I've got all of this cash. And I will also say that it has been incredibly stressful every time I go out, having to punch mobile phones out of people's hands. I'm just like everyone else. You're just like everyone else, right? If I'm with my kids, don't come up asking for autographs and signed pictures. Right?
Form a line,
but we can talk about it. But not when I'm with the girls. Stress. All of this stress. But thanks to our friends at xbrain.co.uk, they've provided us with CBD oil. A spray citrus CBD oil, which really, really takes the edge off. And now my stress is gone. I sleep well.
Feel like levitating on clouds.
Yep. I sleep well. I feel that even in the hottest of nights, it feels like I'm being blown by angels. Take from that what you want.
Perfect timing on that.
There we are. Daddy, stop being silly. xbrain.co.uk. Everything that you could possibly need. Nootropics, full sigmatic coffee. Their own protein is exceptional. Anything on it. And then they've got their new line, the CBD. They've got caps, they've got sprays, they've got our big boy True Blue nootropic, which
love that.
I've taken it on. Use promo code Coffee Combat to save 30% off your order. xbrain.co.uk, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. Dillian being super aggro again.
He is.
It's hard not to love him, isn't it?
Oh, you just want an excuse to have a mic in front of him, you know?
Yeah. It's hard not to love him. He wears big boy suits. He wears, like, anyone that's got a mustard jacket, you've got to watch out for. Anyone that's got a purple suit, watch out. You know, like, he's not there to do it. And he's just so aggy. He really is. All he wants to do is he just wants to fight. He's like, you know, I hate saying it, but he is kind of a throwback.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's got plenty of reason to be aggy, to be fair. Like, he just wants that. Let's get this going, man. Yeah,
he wants his name on the tip of people's tongues. I mean, I don't think AJ said anything that bad. I think he said he might be there.
He said he's going to be there.
He might be there. and give him a punch. And immediately he's like, if he comes near me, I'm going to box him. It don't matter. Like, just respect.
Whoa,
Chill out.
easy, sir.
Yeah, let's take it down to a 4, right? And let's just carry on with our day.
Dillian, hit up the CBD, mate.
Yeah, you definitely need some CBD. Epic placement there. The streets. Fantastic work. Yes, he definitely needs some CBD. And I might even just DM him with that promo code Coffee Combat. Save him 30%. I don't think he's short in any cash. He's done all right, hasn't he? He's done all right. But yeah.
Hey, mustard suits don't come cheap, bro.
No, they don't. They're tailored. He's a big man. But yeah, he's they 100% will want to make that. I think that's always the contingency plan. So if AJ gets derailed again and, you know, Dillian doesn't quite meet the demand of his title shot when he gets it sometime 2040, whenever it will be, you know, that's always got to be the go-to, right? Because it's a British clash. People love them both. The build-up's going to be fun. You know, I think AJ has very much so moved past the beef between them two. I don't think Dillian has. I think he's ready to fight you at
He's
breakfast.
like that jilted family member that brings shit up from years ago, like every opportunity. Yeah. But, I mean, also the trajectories play into that as well. And you just want him to get his shot, do you know what I mean? It might, like we were talking about with Valero, or make sure you listen to that if you haven't. It was a great one. Plug. But always being the second fiddle for the build up to Pacquiao. You get to the point where it's like, how about my turn? Same thing with Dillian, you know, it's like, all right, you're the contingency for this and this and this. Is like, how about I just get the shot that I've had for 1,000 days?
The shit thing is, though, is that I don't think many people see him doing very much to Fury. So even when he makes it after his 1,000 days, even when he jumps through all of these hoops, he's going to get his shot. He's going to be a massive underdog, probably to the point where it would be worth bunging a tenner on, because you just never know. Right? You just never know. But it's unlikely that would be the route. What would more than likely be the route would be if they disband AJ's belts, maybe Usyk picks one up, maybe AJ keeps 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's the route, but...
It could be, but either way, it's like, I definitely feel like they're doing him dirty, and going this route as well but at least then he gets the chance. You know what I mean? It's like, you kind of probably, if he gets it and he doesn't make it, all right, you finally got that shot. I'd love to see a him and Wilder matchup. I think that would be an epic clash. I think that's some heavy hands getting thrown around.
That's Fury, while that lasts, it goes, and it goes really well. But then, you know, he has been dropped. Like, he's been dropped. He's been hurt. You know, AJ stopped him. You wouldn't fancy his chances of wearing one of those right hands. But what you would fancy would be that, because he would be so in range, so close, that, you know, Wilder's never proven to be that great up close.
Yeah.
And that would. And
he will. I mean, Dillian will bring it to him. Do you know what I mean? It's like, when you've got that cannon and someone's just coming at you, it can put you off. But either way, same thing. If it doesn't go his way, at least that's a great matchup, and he's in that kind of sphere then, you know, rather than just these outskirt ones where you, like, beat this guy, then you get shot. No, actually, beat this guy, then you got, it's like, mate, just let me crack, you know?
But he's also going to benefit from, like, the heavyweight scene now, because the heavyweight scene's come back. We've spoken about the heavyweights before. It's come back big. You know, you've got new blood in there. You've got new champions. You've got, you know, Fury arguably is the best of them. He's massive. He moves amazing. You know, it's hard to foresee anyone really beating him, because he's just so versatile. Like, there's just nothing. There's nothing that I can see that Dillian can do to him that Tyson can't do back to him, probably a little bit better. Yeah. With the exception of, like, big, shocking power.
Yeah, but I mean, I got to admit, I did not see that, like, the way he fought against Wilder. Like, he really, I mean, he's a big dude, so that power is there. It's just often he doesn't choose to do it. Obviously not the same concussive thing, but it's there when he wants it. I mean, God knows what he can. Fury's one of them guys. He's got so many tools in his belt. You never know which one's going to come out. So it's hard to Yeah.
I mean, but then there's that. Talking about him again, he will be a regular guest, hopefully. But Larry doesn't have shocking power, but it's not fun getting clipped.
Yeah.
And when he sits down on them, they're so much harder than what you're used to from him, right? And
Yes.
the way that he's always taught me in the years that I've been training and trained by him is that you kind of need to mix it up all the time with the power, because he's always, and I'm going to have to deal with that in a minute. We'll cut this little bit out because the cat's eating biscuits and all I can hear is, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Right. Well, maybe we'll just deal with it. Yeah, but he was always saying that if you're loading, you're vulnerable. And Fury's always had that where he's got no problem whatsoever taking it to a decision. He's got no problem whatsoever in going down that route until he's fighting a US champion who had him on his ass and his back in the US, trying to get his belts back, which he's done it the hardest way of all of them. You know,
for sure.
Klitschko in Germany, and he shut shit down. And then sung
and even you got to remember that was
tune.
when Klitschko was Klitschko.
Klitschko, yep. You had all of the stuff like he's no mug. He's been around it. The people around him have seen all of the tricks. You know, he's has to be the one. Has to be. But yeah, let's see what happens, because I would love nothing more than to watch Whyte like maybe get a little bit shovey with AJ. If they allow AJ in, which is a bit, I don't think they're actually allowed to allow him there. I think it's a like special guest. I think if you were on the card, because the fight that got cancelled, that Fiaz, his opponent was there as like Eddie's special guest to let him experience it, and they want to get him out. But I'm not sure AJ's even. I suppose it's AJ, right? He goes where he wants.
Yeah. I mean, although I was there, what was it, at the Chisora fight, I think, and AJ was just on the outskirts. You know, who's chatting from outside the ring.
Yeah.
So he wasn't up in there.
No.
These days you need the mask.
You need the mask, the visor. The 2 meters. Yeah. But yeah, week 3. Should we have it?
We shall. Which end do you want to start at?
Let's start at the beginning. Yeah? Let's start at John Doherty and Anthony Fox. Anthony Fox is a proper opponent, bless him. Right?
Yes.
You know, John Doherty's good fighter, one of the next gen boys on their way up. You know, this is a very short conversation. It should be one of those early doors, start the show, probably a stoppage.
Yeah. I mean, I think Fox is going to be game, but
but he's like 8 and 12.
Yeah.
You know, he's 8 and 12. He's got 8, 12 and 4 actually, with no knockouts. Like
no knockouts.
That's a tough life. That.
What is John? 8 and 0, right? 6 knockouts.
8 and 06. I mean, it's a bad mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bad mix. I think it's a tough way to earn a couple of grand.
And added to that, what is it? Yeah. So 2018 Commonwealth bronze medalist, gold at the Youth Commonwealth, 2 British youth titles, 3 Nations gold, Scottish elite champion. I mean, that's some skill there. I want to drag out this conversation and try and, give Fox all there's always a chance. But yeah, I don't see this going particularly well for him. It's going to be a tough night at the office, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I mean, you may just have him trying to get some rounds. I don't even know how many rounds it is. It's probably a 6th rounder. You would at that level.
No, it might be up to 8. I have to look that up, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah.
But John, on his pro debut, it was 7 seconds. That's
it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Yeah, we'll enjoy that.
I think
Mr. Fox.
Probably
Let's
was
see
just
how that goes.
Amount of rounds doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's just get rid of that. I mean, hopefully he comes into the ring wearing his medals just to really put the wind up him. Just really to give it to him. Second fight, Yas Queens again. Shannon Courtney. To be fair, kind of a piece.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Kind of a piece. I respect anyone that comes out in white and gold. Big.
Big.
And he's blonde. She loves a left hook. She's
that KO is
5-0.
huge.
Yeah, 5-0. I don't really know that much about Rachel Ball, but the thing is with women's boxing is that they have that because the pool is currently on the shallower side. They're world champions at 10 fights. They're their records either, as we saw on the Showtime card, their records are either they're just not an indication of their experience and skill. You got someone that's 5-0 with 5 KOs, and she gets annihilated.
Yeah.
Or you've got someone like
that was
like that. But she still walked in 5-0, 5 KOs, right?
Yeah.
So you got Shannon who's 5-0 with 2 KOs, and you think paper for paper, if you'd never seen either of them fight before, you would think this one with 5 KOs is going to come in and do the job. But to be fair, Shannon is probably going to hook her face off.
Well, yeah, the thing,
and then go Sugar Hut.
She's one of them. This matchup, honestly, is I love Shannon. Like, big fan. Love the way she fights. Great. But this Rachel, she was a kickboxing champ previously.
Really?
Transitioned to boxing, yeah. And the thing with her is she stepped up, and it was, what is it? It must have been Norway. So she went for that Katarina Thanders in her backyard. She went up in weight. She fought, and the champ came in overweight. She did all of that, and lost a razor-thin decision, like to the point where one judge had it a draw, and the Norwegians were saying, "We thought you edged that." She that's big moves. When you're going in someone's backyard, when you're the challenger, obviously you got to do it. And she's 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1.
Then she's had like 5 fights. Then as an experienced fighter.
How many kickboxing fights do you have?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but I think she had a bit out there. She does all the marathons and triathlons and shit, so she's got a gas tank on her. I actually think this will be this could nick the fight of the night. Like, I think this has got the possibility to be a barn burner. And then the ladies have represented well 2 weeks in a row, so well done.
They really have.
On a row.
I'm desperately trying to Google what her record is as a kickboxer, but it's
Where's our Jamie? God damn it.
Yeah. Again, that offer is there. If anyone wants to do that and be paid in contact and sweaty bald hugs, I don't discriminate. If you're gender neutral, fine. If you're a non-binary entity, fine. If you identify as a pot plant, whatever, I don't care. As long as you're rapid on the googs, fine. I'm completely all right with that. So please DM your applications for that, and we can make that happen.
All I see is she's apparently 3-time. I held 3 world title in kickboxing. I'm not sure which titles or whatever. But I know she does have a background in it. Yeah,
doesn't matter. To be fair, if you're a kickboxer, there's very few avenues. I mean, even those big K1 boys and the big Lion Fights boys, it should be so much bigger, but it's not.
100%, man. Like that, I think that's one of the biggest crimes. Especially the Muay Thai fight. They are bangers, and one is pumping out. Like, if you don't follow them on Instagram, you will see some of the best knockouts you've ever seen just daily.
That's
epic
without
fighters, and they fight all the time. Fight all the time as well. Some of these Thai fighters, they're having 300 fights, 400 fights.
I mean, they start fighting at like 6.
Yeah.
To give you a little bit of scope of just how much of an animal my illustrious co-host is, he was all booked up to go to Myanmar to have, was it 6 weeks?
No, this was going to be, it was 3 weeks out there.
3 weeks. So a 3-week training camp in Lithuania, which is Muay Thai, fine. Elbows and knees kickboxing. Then let's take away the gloves. So now it's bare knuckle Muay Thai. Interesting. See where we go here. And then let's add headbutts and trips and anything else in between. Is there anything that's not allowed? Eye gouging, knees to the nuts.
once you're on the ground, you can't. So there's no ground and pound,
Right.
things like that. But you can spear, tackle, suplex.
Yeah.
They are very conservative. No, opposite of that. They allow a lot of shit.
Yeah.
One of the craziest rules, I think, is that you get your 10 count in boxing.
Yep.
In Lethway, that's a 2-minute count, and you get 2 of them. So you get sparked with a bare knuckle, a headbutt, something like that. Your corner has 2 minutes to revive you and see if you want to continue. If you do, you go back out. If that happens again, you still get one more chance. And they have no love for points. So in traditional Lethway, no knockout, no win. You don't win.
I mean, when you talk like this, my ovaries throb. They just go, okay. As we know that I am a Primark version of you, even down to, sleep game. I'm not concerned for your well-being, but also I would basically have a raging hard on the entire time there watching, screaming. Marcy would look at me like, what is your story? What is your problem? Like, she would properly bitch me out. Yeah.
Her comment on the whole thing of fighting in that was like, I don't mind wiping your ass when you're an old man, but I didn't sign on to do it when you're at this age, so be careful. Respect,
and also support of a wife who understands. Right? Yeah. That's it. That's basically the omission, that if you kind of get hurt, you're on your own.
Yeah, for sure.
On your own, yeah.
There's limits to this, son. Don't push it.
Back to topic, because I think we should actually do a whole one on this way, because I think you could talk about that for about 3 weeks, like I can about cocaine and cocks.
Shout out, James.
Yeah, big comment. Kieran Conway.
Yes.
For the IBF, I think Intercontinental 154. That's like one of the gateway trinkets.
Yes.
Got a win over the Cheese.
Yeah.
Good fighter.
Yeah, it really is.
Good fighter.
And what the only defeat? Yeah, no, it was a draw with Cheeseman, wasn't it? That was. But
I thought he beat him.
Well, yeah, the thing. I think a lot of people did, but officially, I believe it was a draw. I think so.
That's where he come out in the big long black socks and the all black gear like Jorge Linares, right?
Before I forget, sorry to interrupt. It's the WBA Intercontinental, not the IBF that they're fighting for.
Right.
Yeah. You never know. People get a little bit shitty, don't they, about that stuff? Like the diehards, they properly go in on it. But yeah, I mean,
so we got that cleared up.
Yes, that cleared up. He's fighting. What is it? Navid
Mansouri. Yeah. 20 and 3.
He's experienced.
And 2. Yeah. Only 6K. Neither of them are like known for being heavy hitters. I would say it'll be another go to the judges' scorecards for this one. I don't think it'll be a stoppage. Got to go with Conway.
You have to. Yeah. You have to. And then we have Zilfa Barat against Eric Donovan, right?
Yeah.
Now, this one is for the IBF Intercontinental Super Feather, right? So you got Zelfa, who's 23-1.
Yep. 14 KOs.
Yeah. Going up against Donovan, 12-0.
Yep.
Risky.
It is. And the thing that makes this an interesting fight is one of them ones where you've got like a seasoned pro against a super high level amateur. And like Donovan, what was it? So he won the 2012 World Series of Boxing. Mm-hmm. Awesome. 5-time Irish elite champ, European and EU bronze medalist. It beat some great names in the amateurs, but not so much as a pros. And he still kind of has that, up on his toes amateur style. And Barrett, great balance, great defense, reacts well to shots. It doesn't have the same amateur pedigree, but it's like he was kind of more groomed to go straight to the pros. Got that sort of style. So this is interesting in the set, but like you said, it's risky.
It is probably risky, right?
Yeah. And I would lean to, it's one of these ones where if you've got someone like a Loma, right? And then the pro experience, you're like, okay, but this guy has literally seen and done absolutely everything. And not to downplay Donovan's amateur pedigree, but Loma is he's Loma. So with this one, I would have to lean towards Barrett just for having that pro experience. You know, he's got more experience out there. Definitely not a slouch. And
I mean, you're talking double, right? You're talking double pro experience, small gloves, the event itself, the big weight cut. They got everything else going on, and then it's in a garden. You know, the weather here has been hard, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that someone of Irish descent is going to be flourishing.
Thriving.
Yeah.
Because you got that whole thing, even when Loma came against Toledo, and he took that well, but he was like, this was a good welcome to the pros, because, like, I'm going to do what I need to do, man. I'm going to punch you in the balls. I'm going to hold you.
Yeah. Like, I'm getting the win at all costs. Or else. But, yeah, I mean, I'm with you with Barrett in my heart, but I just think like if you're willing to give someone double the experience, you know, he's a young fighter, he's pretty young, you know, there's got to be something that they see in it. I just don't think that with the way that it is at the minute with boxing at the minute, I understand that Eddie was saying, you know, there's no easy fights anymore, you know, the game's changed, everyone's got to really just, you know, it doesn't matter anymore. But also when you've got backers and you've got everything else that goes with it, and the people supporting and the sponsors and this and that. If you've got someone that's a 12-0, like you don't, if he was 20-0, you'd be like, all right. If he was 18-0, you would be okay, fine. But 12, like he's literally half experience in the pro game.
And for people that might be a little bit new to boxing, not that it's in any way a discredit, but if you pick a fighter and you look at their first 10 opponents, don't just look at them, but look at the record. Look at that tells a story, you know? So that's exactly what he's saying. Like your first 10, as long as you're a prospect, you're designed to blow through. That's really when your career starts getting started. The first ones are like highlight reel material.
It's what we were saying with the first fight on the card, the Doherty card. So he's fighting someone who is 8 wins, 12 losses. So he has a losing record, you know, from a numbers perspective. You know, he has 4 more losses than he has wins. You know, he has been out there. You know, if someone was, this guy is 12-0 fighting someone 23-1, and that 12 that he's lost is the equivalent. You know, it's the number of times he's been out, and he's lost that many. You know, so you expect that at John Doherty's stage. 12. I think maybe they know something. Well, I think maybe we throw him in. And have we frozen again? We had frozen again. Motherfucker. We back? Streets? We're back. We're back. No noise though. There we go. We're back.
Yep. Got it?
Right. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. As I was saying, you know, that guy's been out and lost 12 times. You know, Doherty is at that stage where he should be fighting those guys. You know, Donovan, 12-0, they have to have something up. They have to know something about that fight. I mean, it's just too risky. It's just pointless.
It's an incredible statement to make if it goes his way. And that's the thing, like, honestly speaking, high-level amateurs, like, as we just discussed, if you take the first 10 opponents, at a high-level amateur, you're fighting a better caliber of opponent than you are when you first turn over to pro, right? So,
absolutely.
For sure, but the game is completely different. And they're doing what they can to bridge that gap, because there has historically been a massive... It's like 2 different sports entirely. You know, you've got the scoring system to deal with the way you fight, the no head guards and things. So it is getting that way, but it is still a very different thing. So one doesn't necessarily, it'll definitely help, but it doesn't translate directly into the other. You look at people like in Australia, we've got Anthony Mundine, never had an amateur fight, went straight into pro, you know, so you get the flip side as well. It does happen. This would be an outset, and not to say it can't happen, but it wouldn't be my pick for this one. I'm going Barrett. And shout out for the name Zelfa.
Yeah.
Big up.
Yeah, big. It's currently the chief support, which might, I mean, the card might change obviously until it happens, but you know, that must have something that everyone knows. I mean, that could quite comfortably be fight of the night. Could be too. That could literally be the experience versus the inexperience and the skills gap maybe on the amateur back. Who knows? That could quite comfortably be the one that steals the show. Kind of with you, with Barrett on that one. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Let's put it like that. That's the thing with this card. It's not like the names are super huge, but there's some interesting matchups. They match up well with each other, and that's everything. White collar promoter, I think, summed it up pretty well one time. He's like, "You can give me 2 shit people," and obviously not saying anyone can't shit, but he was like, "You can give me 2 shit people, and I'll make a great fight. But you give me a good guy pretending to be shit." No one's happy then, because he's going to blow him out. The corner's going to be unhappy. Crowd's going to be unhappy. That's the thing. Styles make fights, and there is some interesting stylistic matchups here.
They might just be trying to fast track him. I mean, it's already like we said before, it's a gateway title. It puts them in the rankings. Intercontinental, I think, puts them in the top 15. I think European IBF puts you in top 10. In the rankings, I think Intercontinental puts you in top 15 or top 20.
Moving
not
along
sure.
Well.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, is a good segue to the main event, because Felix Cash keeps stepping up as well. They're moving him along at a good
really
rate.
well.
You like to see that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all for building it. You don't want to rush people, but at the same time, sometimes like, all right, you take the piss now. It's time to put him in with a live body.
He's another one, 12-0.
Yep.
Commonwealth.
8 KOs. Big puncher. What fight with the Jack Cullen fight? Oh my God.
That's a great fight, wasn't it? Fight of the year.
Oh, mate, what a fight. And big up Cullen, because for a big guy, wasn't fighting like a big guy. He was there to ruck. He was on the inside trading, and he took a big shot and recovered. And
great fight. I watched it this morning.
Right.
Because it's just, you have a little bit of a search. I mean, Felix
sure.
Cash is a big name as well, isn't it? As in, you name your child Felix, fine. Leave it. Felix Cash, huge. That's got it written all over it, isn't it? I don't really know that much about Jason Welburn. Do you?
Right. So going through, he's been a bit of a shocker in the sense that he's upset a couple of people before. Okay. Right. So he shocked Tommy Langford to win the British title, and that got fight of the year as well. And he beat at the time undefeated Marcus Morrison, who was, I think, 14-0 or something like that. So he's done it before. He's one of them spoilers. Yeah. That being said, also, Warborn earned a shot against Jarrett Hurd, which, lost by body shots, but...
is that the... I remember him now. Yeah. Yeah, he was the one, he kind of just got... He was fed, wasn't he? Do you remember when... Koto had to fight... Was it the welterweight, our British welterweight in orange shorts, and it was just like... Well,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Congratulations on your new... It was like Gomez or something, wasn't it? He had like an off-key English name, but he was very British. Yeah, it was like, congratulations on your new house, pal. And enjoy. Yeah,
he's a tough night out. But yeah, so... and he's been in there with Macklin as well, Liam Smith, Frankie Gavin. He came out on the losing end of all of them, but still in there with caliber. I think the class will show in this one. I think Cash is gonna end it. I think this will be a good show. I think he'll get him out of there.
So we got Doherty, Courtney, Conway, Barrett, and Cash, which is all the left-hand side of the schedule again, with the caveat being that Donovan might be the one. But I'm with you. I just think that the pro experience has got to be too much, and I don't understand why you would make that fight at this stage of his career. I don't know what good comes of it.
Yeah, I think we discussed, when was it, on the week one? It was for the Cheeseman fight, where Eddie was saying, look, this is not a fight I would make right now, but with COVID the way it is, and maybe there's a bit of that. They're like, listen, it's high risk, but it's high reward, so let's have at it. And
but those guys both needed the win.
Yeah.
Both of those both desperately needed that, and to have them at the main event, have them on the big card, have them starting things out on the first week, which, that's either going to be a raging success off the back of them, or it's going to get dwindling numbers. But I think there was an interview on Sky Sports News the other day saying that they might extend it for another month now, the fight camp, which would be epic, right? Because they still don't know what's going on with crowds. They still don't know really what's going on with COVID, because who does? You
And
know?
I got to admit, and I am liking that they just show the fights. Like I saw some of the PBC fights where they're like superimpose the crowd. It's proper like freaky and weird.
It's really hard to do that though, isn't it? In the garden, it's way easier to do that in the black studio. I think one of the football teams was actually putting Bin Laden cutouts in the crowd. Which is just epic. You'd have to do meme Barry everywhere. Yeah, just Barry every single one of them. Just a sea of the legendary meme. Yeah. So yeah, everything left hand side. Let's see where we go. We'll do another recap next week.
We shall, and we got our fingers and toes crossed that because, as we said, it's early in the week. We hope Rona doesn't fuck things up.
And everyone check out the Edwin Valero episode. We spent simply too long researching it. And
big up for that movie, mate. That is some spy level shit. So
we did that. And with the custom tune, I think Eric Morales is the next one. And then we're going to do the polls about which one of the ones of the list that you sent we should do. Yeah. Because all of them are fantastic and all of them will get done, but it will be the priority down to the people.
That's it. Yeah? And there's some sordid past, some interesting stories. We're looking forward to getting it out there, guys.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. As always, xbrain.co.uk, Coffee and Combat, just Coffee Combat knocks 30% off anything Xbrain on the order. Speak to you next week. Bye, guys.
Done. See you later.